Hello and welcome to Breaking Ground on iPropertyRadio with myself, Carol Tallon, the show where we chat to industry experts to get a view of what's happening on the ground and indeed about new trends emerging within the construction industry. This show is brought to you in partnership with Place Engage, a data-driven platform for more successful public consultation and community engagement for your next development project. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Tony Kelly, Director of Pro-Tray. Tony, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Good morning, Karen. How are things?
Good, thanks. So, Tony, Pro-Tray, for anybody not familiar, what is the offering?
We are a tool design company and product design company for tradespeople, by tradespeople. So my background is I've been an electrician for the last 20 years, and we see kind of new initiatives and new ways to improve the industry out there, out on the ground for the guys that are doing a lot of the electrical installations on large scale projects.
It's a really interesting proposition, product design by the trade, for the trade. What led to that? What's your own background?
Again, my own background, as I say, I started out with my electrical apprenticeship when I was just finished school. I was just 17. I became fully qualified by the age of 22, and I landed some great opportunities, with some of the larger scale companies out there, like Mercury Engineering, Instrotech Limited as well. There's a couple of the larger names there that work on these large scale projects, like some of the large data centers and these type of large industrial commercial projects. So from there, I kind of, I say with my experience in those fields, I knew that there was, and I could see that there was areas where needed improvement, or how we could do the job safer and quicker, faster. At the end of the day, we're selling time and money. If we can get these jobs done quicker, the companies we can make a bit more money on these projects. We can tighten up the ship on it. From that, it kind of led to me setting up my own electrical company, Tony Kelly Electrical Services. I suppose as that grew and grew, I could see these areas that needed improvement. So we decided then to set up SPS Limited, which is Sensible Product Solutions, trading as Pro-Tray. And the reason why we chose the name Pro-Tray, there is electrical containment structures and cable management systems that go in on all of these large scale projects. And I mean, there could be miles and miles of this stuff goes in. And funny enough, it's held down using a M6 gutter bolt. And there's never been a specific driver for this type of bolt. So we sat down with the design team and we came up with a concept, and 2.5 years later, we're on the market and we got the Irish patent on it, and we're now putting forward for the international and worldwide patents on it. There's a lot of work going on in the background and how we can grow Pro-Tray with new products and new business partnerships and growing it internationally as well. So hopefully in 24 months, we'll be looking at Pro-Tray as an international household name.
But I can absolutely see how that could happen, because we know, particularly given the kind of niches that you have worked in, you mentioned there, data centers, we know that this is almost in the last decade, not just a new type of construction, but it requires a new type of delivery. And if you're able to identify not just cable management solutions, but actually the tools required to install them, this is almost opening up a whole new area. So this new area of construction is actually opening up a whole new category of tools, systems that need to be designed around it. What was happening prior to this? Was the industry making do with the tools that were available and trying to customize them on a job by job basis?
Well, this is it, yeah. We're engineering every day on a job, and guys are using kind of, we would have the generic tools out there for driving these, for driving these type of bolts and these type of systems, but they've nearly become obsolete. At this stage, it's like any new product when it comes to the market, it's always going to be better. It's always going to maybe, I suppose, leave it faster and better way to do the job. I found working in the industry where we're coming across these structures that weren't secure enough, and then again, that's what inspired me to go with the inventive side of bringing out these new tools. As you said there, the industry is growing all the time, so you'll be coming into all of the, even for the end user out on your mobile phone, you're looking, say, logging in onto your Facebook and all of these social media platforms. They all go back to these data centers. And these data centers are, they're on such a large scale. There's so much work involved in them. You do need new tools and you need new initiatives to build the construction side of these at a more in a more professional manner, I suppose. Again, the end client, the likes of these corporate companies that own these corporations, are looking for the high skilled tradesmen, and that's why they come to Ireland. That's why they come here, and they know that they're going to get the skills that are required to build their constructions here.
Yeah, and look, it's more than then just coming here. We've seen over the past decade, and this has been in a large way led by data centers and other types of construction like clean rooms and others. We can see that the expertise in Ireland, it's not just about corporations coming to Ireland for that. They're taking this expertise. So actually we're exporting expertise in a way that we might have only had the option to emigrate in previous times, that actually we know that any of the highly skilled teams are actually are working.
Exactly. We saw it in the downturn in 2008. There was a lot of highly skilled tradesmen left Ireland here. We're very, very sought after. You can see it all the time when they're advertising for jobs, electrical jobs, even with the data centers that are being built in Sweden, Frankfurt, all across Europe. These data centers are going up, and some of the higher profile companies that I would have worked throughout my career are looking and sourcing for those highly skilled tradespeople from Ireland to go and work across in Europe and use their expertise in those fields,
What I'm really curious about is, you mentioned there that for these specialist jobs, and to be honest, we know that the increasing digitization of the construction industry means that there are processes in place. We're seeing an increasing professionalization of how construction is delivered, and that's not just across data centers or commercial or clean rooms. We're seeing it across residential as well. We see it right across offsite and with the introduction of MMC technologies. But actually, what I'm really curious about is you were going in, and as you described it, you were engineering on a daily basis. You were engineering solutions almost on a case-by-case basis, which was probably giving you the expertise that made your company very highly skilled and highly in demand, and therefore able to pick and choose your work and able to scale. It's a really interesting approach that you took to actually design the tools that would not only allow your company to scale, but actually in a way it opens up what was quite a closed market for the industry. You were either in it or you were out of it. You're now opening this up that actually other electrical providers using your tools without the same level of experience will be able to potentially get in and work on those jobs. They'll be able to get the work done.
They'll be able to do it a lot better and faster, I suppose, and a lot safer. The structures that they will be installed to the correct manner now if they have the right tools in the toolkit, We're growing in the background all the time. We have Pro-Tray UK is just set up over the last number of months there, so we'll be pushing into the UK and mainland Europe over the coming months with our products, and we have a whole lot of new products in the kitty to bring out over the next 12 months.
Can you give us any sight of that? Because again, I'm so curious about the choice that you've taken, your approach to this. And by the way, I think it's fabulous. I think you're looking at something that's globally scalable as opposed to trying to deliver solutions on a case by case basis that can only scale as fast as your team and the upskilling of your team and the growth of your team. So actually, it doesn't seem like a stretch to me to see this move globally, and I would imagine that will probably move at a pace that we don't see across other forms of innovation. But just in terms of, I suppose, the types of products, the types of problems you're identifying, is there an element there where you're co-creating with your clients, or are you doing this entirely with yourself and your own team?
It's entirely all my own incentive on it. 95% of the initiatives and ideas are all my own. I just see the problems that need fixing, and I just the light bulb goes off, and when I'm driving to work to site at 5:30 in the morning, that's my office and my time to think. And then when I get to site, and say, this problem just needs fixing, and this is how we're going to do it. It takes a lot of time and effort. I have a very understandable partner at home here that realize when I work 45 or 50 hours a week out on site, and then I come home and put another 30 or 40 hours in at home here, answering emails or in the office and things like that. You have to have an understandable team behind you to jump on board with the craziness of some of the ideas. Not every idea will work, But that's why you just go back to the drawing board and redesign and find the final solution that will work, and it's going to not only be a product that is going to be scalable on the market, but a product that actually works, and it's going to work for the end user.
Your own time is one thing, but product prototyping, testing, it's fit for purpose. These are expensive activities. Have you bootstrapped or have you taken on investment?
We have been lucky enough to have the local enterprise board over from the beginning. Really, we have availed of some of their grants. We went to some of their initiative training programs when we initially started. So I would advise anybody that's looking to start a business or think they might even have an idea, go and get the advice. It's a simple 10-minute conversation with the local enterprise board, and they will tell you from their advisors, look, you have something worthwhile or worth pursuing or not, Again, they do have some great training programs to aid you in growing your business or even starting a business, So we're lucky enough to have those on board at the start. As regards initial investment, then it's all kind of financially backed from myself. At the moment, we're lucky enough to have a successful electrical company that has been able to support it right up to this point,
Very good. And, in addition to the product prototyping and testing that needs to happen, it's also, this is the type of endeavor that you just have to be so careful about protecting your IP. And I know you mentioned there in terms of your patents, but again, another expensive activity, but also it's one that you have to do at the right time, because actually when you start to bring a product to market, you need to be looking at protection quite early on. How was that process for you? And you're probably sick of people telling you about how the IP laws are in the process of changing.
We use a very highly rated patent attorneys in Dublin, Tompkins Limited, and they've been instrumental in I suppose educating me in all the ins and the outs of specific products and the IP and how it all works. And we were lucky enough to get the ball rolling on it fairly quick. Like as soon as I had kind of discussed my idea with some of my close colleagues, I said, look, you need to get a patent on this. So again, went back to the drawing board, done a little bit of research on Google, and came across these guys. Had an initial meeting with them, and look, it took a bit of time to get the patent, I suppose, terminology correct. You're back and forward with the patent office. I won't give a figure on it, but it would cost a lot of money to get it to that point.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be deflating to see that you're throwing away all this money on a particular product and to trying to get a patent on it. But we were successful in the end, thank God.
I'm very aware that as this scales, and particularly as you look at moving outside of Ireland and your time is spent increasingly on that, it will mean less time for you with your electrical team on site. So therefore, potentially less opportunity to see problems that you can address. So
I'm lucky enough to have two business partners that have come on board with us here in 2023. They're cross border, and it's going to see us, as I say, just going to see the guys there taking over some of the daily running of the business and stuff like that, and pushing it right out across there. The guys are actually flying out next week to China to source some of our new product designs and see if we can import some of our new designs of our new products from China and Taiwan and other areas like that,
Okay, and tell me, can you give us any specifics about some of the tools that you're looking at maybe venturing outside of Ireland with initially? What can you share with us?
I can't really give a whole lot away on that, Carol, I'm afraid, at the moment. We're just looking at growing the business. The concept ideas that we have, again, are in some of the design stage, and then there are other products that we have launched throughout the year, and we're working on the patents and stuff for those. So I won't give away too much on that.
Right. Well, then tell us initially what geographies you're looking at. You mentioned the UK.
Yeah, we're looking at UK, probably Spain, France, the Netherlands, Germany, places like that have a high volume of, again, back to the data centers for these high level of construction and the high level of commercial and industrial projects, where we see the Pro-Tray products really aiding these projects to be finished in a professional standard,
And in terms of your route to market, are you looking at maybe entering some of these new jurisdictions through your existing clients? Will it be going in, bringing your existing team working for clients that you might have had in Ireland who are doing similar projects outside of Ireland?
Yeah, we are. We've actually lined up some demo days with some of the larger electrical contractors, so that will bring us in again to highlight and showcase the Pro-Tray products to the guys out on the ground, to the end user. Again, these are the large scale companies which are involved in a lot of the projects here at home in Ireland, right across Europe. So if we can nail down a couple of demonstration days with these guys, we actually have 2 demonstration days coming up next month, with one with Mercury Engineering and another with another large scale company. So if we can get those across the way, like these companies are working worldwide, or worldwide companies. So if we can get the product out there, it'll help us grow it internationally, you know.
Fantastic, and very best of luck with those. And I suppose before we finish up, you might just mention how you are navigating, I suppose, the element of competition here as well, because again, you mentioned here that we really do have 2 separate enterprises going on. So you still have the electrical services company. So obviously that would put you in a position of competing with other electrical services providers. But yet that cohort of competition is the customer base you need for Pro-Tray. So how are you kind of navigating that?
Yeah, well, it's given me the opportunity when I am on these large scale projects myself, working with the on the electrical installation. It's allowing me to promote these safety products and the hand tools that Pro-Tray provide. And the minute the guys see it, we actually have an initiative now on the current project where we are. We have an initiative for the apprentices and the guys on the ground to fill out their safety cards every week, and they just get a name picked out of a hat every week and they'll get a free Pro-Tray socket set. So, you know, it's all about product awareness and promotion. So whatever works, you know.
Very, very good. Very good. Look, Tony, we definitely love to keep an eye on your progress and particularly monitor the progress of Pro-Tray as you're venturing outside of the Irish market. But there's a massive amount of potential within the Irish market as well. So very best of luck as you navigate kind of the patent process. I know IP can really be one of those things that can delay a product going to market for a year and 2 years. So and best of luck with your demo days over the next couple of weeks.
Thank you. I just ask people to keep an eye out on the social media posts. Give us a follow on TikTok and Instagram. We're up for the International Business Award with the Carlow Chamber of Commerce on the 28th of September. So keep an eye out for that, and keep an eye on the posts. We'll have plenty of content coming up. We'll have more trade shows and stuff coming up as well in the future. So just keep an eye, follow us on social media, and keep up to date with what we're at.
Oh, fantastic, Tony. The very best of luck to yourself and to the team there at Pro-Tray. And thanks a million for sharing your journey so far. And we'll definitely check in with you in a couple of months and see how that is going.
Cheers, Carol. Talk to you soon. Thank you.
So that was Tony Kelly, Director of Pro-Tray. And that's all we've time for today. My thanks to everybody for listening in. And also thanks to show producer Carol Tallon and to the podcast production team at Hear Me Roar Media. Our thanks to our sponsor, Place Engage, for making these conversations possible. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to subscribe to the podcast and check out all of the other real estate and construction shows on iPropertyRadio. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next episode of Breaking Ground on iPropertyRadio.